I did want to also ask you about another project that you've worked on recently, though, and that is the Crown Act. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking the question. It is something that I'm extremely proud of. So essentially what the Crown Act does, it provides protection for citizens and people to ensure that they can wear their hair in a way that is consistent with who they are, their own identity. People think that our hair is covered, protection for our hair is covered under the current classification of race, but it is not. So what the Crown Act does is it, again, acknowledges that race is a social construct, but that racism is very real. And so in these different states that we've worked to pass the bill in, we've said, well, whatever you think race is, amend the definition of race to include the traits that are historically associated with it, such as hair and hair texture. So whether your hair is natural like mine is today, but blown out, or if you're rocking braids, twists, locks, bantu knots, for example, your right to rock your crown however you see fit is protected. We know that far too many students have missed valuable instruction time and school time for their decision to wear their hair that is, consistent with who they are and their own cultural pride because of these unjust rules. And so again, this movement is about not just shifting culture, but also shifting policy, and the Crown Act does just that.
So we on the show, we talk about a lot of issues, and I try to understand different sides of the issues. What's the other side of this? I mean, obviously the discrimination exists, so clearly there are people who are opposed to it. But when you go into a state and you try to pass this, what's the argument against it?
The argument is, or has been, and whether or not it's valid, you can sort of flip a coin on that front. The argument is some people think that our hair is not clean. So the old, racist and in many ways sexist tropes that we've seen are part of this argument. And they'll argue that we shouldn't be able to wear our hair in ways that we desire because it's against, safety regulations, which this bill does not touch. So OSHA trumps, no pun intended, all of the Crown Act itself, because if you're working in an industry that requires you to wear a hairnet, then you wear a hairnet, but you can wear a hairnet with your braids or with your locks or with your twists. So there is no valid argument for why you shouldn't provide protection and prohibit discrimination based on the issue of hair. There is no valid argument, but some think that you won't fit into the quote unquote culture of a particular industry if you wear your hair in ways that people don't necessarily understand or think are deemed professional. So we are challenging all of that. We are challenging the fact that there are very euro-centric standards of beauty. We are arguing on behalf of the coalition that the African aesthetic must be lifted. For far too long, it has not been Black public opinion that has informed public policy. And so we are working to change all of that, again, to shift both culture and policy. We have seen students be told that they could not participate in their graduation exercises with their friends, based on the idea that you wear your hair that is consistent with cultural pride. We saw a student wrestler who had earned the right to participate in the wrestling match based on talent be told that you have to make a decision that no student should ever have to make right on the spot, have your identity attacked and your locks cut, or forfeit a match that you had earned the right to participate in. We saw another student sent home in tears because you had beautiful braids that were deemed a violation of school rules. So we cannot have that. We cannot create school climates and cultures that are not conducive to what we are asking our students to actually do, which is to thrive and learn and be, his or her best self, based on rules where you show up and you're told that you're wrong based on oftentimes how your hair grows out of its head. It just doesn't make any sense, and we're seeking to right that wrong.
Wow. My inclination is to say I recall that the act passing in California, where we're located. Is that correct?
It's law in 7 states, but it's passed in 8 legislatures. One governor opted to veto the bill, but it has passed in California. It's passed in New Jersey and in New York and Maryland and in Virginia. And I'm working in so many states to help pass the law. So I will not stop until it is illegal to discriminate against people based on their hair texture and styles across the country.
Awesome. Well, look, I can't thank you enough for joining us on the show and lending your expertise. And by the way, as we go forward, we obviously there's some hopes and aspirations for what the Biden-Harris administration can accomplish. I would love to hear your thoughts as we move forward with that.
Thank you so much for having me. Whenever you have me again, I'll be back.
Thank you so much.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.